So, when you really think about it, furniture, it's kind of everywhere, right? Shaping our lives.
Absolutely. Often in ways we don't even notice.
Exactly. Like, take a dining chair. Seems simple, but it's so much more than just, a seat.
It really is. It's where meals happen, conversations, connections.
Yeah, building memories. And if
Right.
you want to see where that whole world's going, well, Milan's Salone del Mobile. That's the place. It really sets the tone.
Oh, definitely. Milan isn't just a trade show. It's like a crystal ball for the furniture industry's future. You really have to pay attention to what comes out of there.
And that's exactly what we're digging into today. We've got this great perspective, a first-hand account from the 2025 Salone.
Right, from Sunbin Qi, the CEO of ASKT.
Yeah. Their reflections give us, and you listening, a sort of shortcut, a way to grasp these big shifts happening, especially with dining chairs.
And having Sunbin's view, someone running a furniture company, that's invaluable. They're looking beyond just like the style.
Think about the business side.
Exactly. The practicalities, what it means for manufacturers, for buyers,
Yeah.
the whole picture.
Okay, so let's dive in. What was the big feeling out of Milan this year? From Sunbin's perspective, what's the main design direction?
Well, the phrase that really stood out from Sunbin's notes was simplicity with soul.
Simplicity with soul. I like that. What does that actually mean, though?
It's interesting. It's not that cold, stark minimalism we saw maybe a few years back. Milan was pointing towards something quieter, more about subtle statements.
Okay.
Think soft edges, honest materials, kind of muted colors. It's like considered comfort. Designs that feel good and have staying power, not just chasing trends.
That makes total sense. We've definitely seen that shift away from the really austere, Scandi look, haven't we? Towards something warmer.
Yes. Sunbin specifically mentioned how Scandinavian minimalism is evolving. It's keeping the simplicity but adding warmth.
How so?
Through things like, gentle curves, more raw wood finishes, those really tactile fabrics like buccal.
Buccal is everywhere. You can almost feel the texture just thinking about it.
Exactly. It's infusing that minimalist base with approachability. And that ties right into another big point Sunbin made.
Which was?
The idea of chairs that hug you.
Chairs that hug you. Okay. So comfort is paramount.
Hugely important. It's about creating a seating experience that's genuinely inviting, genuinely comfortable.
Right. It's not just pull up a chair for dinner. It's about wanting to stay.
Precisely. Wanting to linger, let conversations flow. Sunbin pointed out, people aren't just buying chairs anymore.
They're buying the experience.
Yes. The whole dining experience. If the chair makes you want to get up after 10 minutes, it's failed, hasn't it? It's a non-starter.
And that really speaks to maybe a broader cultural thing, doesn't it? Valuing connection, experiences.
I think so. The furniture becomes part of facilitating those moments we want more of.
Absolutely. Okay, so beyond the look and feel, the comfort, there was another really strong current in Milan, wasn't there? Something that's less a trend now and more just expected?
Oh, definitely. Sustainability. It's completely non-negotiable now.
Not just a nice to have.
Not at all. Sunbin was really clear. For manufacturers, if you're not prioritizing eco-consciousness, you're basically not even in the running for serious buyers. It's the price of admission.
And this isn't just lip service, right? Sunbin saw actual examples.
Yes, concrete stuff, like a real push towards using recyclable materials, making sure wood comes from genuinely sustainable sources.
Okay.
And a big one, cutting down on plastic packaging, moving to paper-based stuff, and even designing things with modular components.
So easier repairs, less waste.
Exactly. Make it last longer, easier to fix if something breaks. Reduce that throwaway mentality.
And ASKT themselves are doing this. I think Sunbin mentioned their packaging change.
Yeah, they switched to using this honeycomb paper protection.
Instead of foam or plastic.
Right. And they got really positive feedback from buyers about it. It shows it's not just talk, it's action, and buyers notice.
That's good to hear. It shows buyers are looking deeper, aren't they? Beyond just the chair itself.
They absolutely are. The whole life cycle, the environmental footprint, it all matters now.
Okay, so we have comfort, we have sustainability. But Sunbin also highlighted something crucial, where those two meet practicality, right? That balance between how a chair looks and how it actually holds up.
Yes, that was a really sharp point. And the story they shared about that gorgeous velvet chair.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
Well, it looked amazing, stunning, but then it failed a basic stress test. Just couldn't handle it.
Ouch. So, all style, No substance.
Pretty much. And it perfectly illustrates the gap that can exist between aesthetics and, real-world use, especially for a buyer needing stock.
That quote from the Dutch buyer really stuck with me. Looks like Fashion Week, but I'm here to stock a store, not a runway.
Aha! Yeah, that sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? It hits home the practical reality for buyers.
It really does, and it explains why a company like ASKT invests so much in durability testing.
Absolutely. Spending, $20,000 on 12 professional testing machines. That's a serious commitment.
It shows they get it. They understand what buyers, especially maybe from places like Germany or the Netherlands, really demand.
Exactly. Those buyers value robust testing, proof of quality, longevity. They need to know it's built to last.
They're not just taking your word for it.
No way. They want the data, the proof. It builds trust. A chair might look great, but if it falls apart in a year...
It's a bad investment for everyone.
Simple as that.
Precisely. Long-term value is key.
Okay, so we've got the design that's simplicity with soul. We've got sustainability as a baseline, and this critical need for comfort and durability. What about the buyers themselves? What did Sunbin pick up about their mindset now, their demands?
Well, Sunbin described them as practical, picky, and post-pandemic savvy, which I think nails it.
Post-pandemic savvy, how so?
The pandemic definitely shifted things. Buyers seem much more pragmatic now, really focused on, genuine value, no messing around.
And that shows up in the questions they ask. Yeah, very specific stuff, like how fast can you deliver? What are the customization options? Can you do different bases, different fabrics easily?
Customization is big then.
Huge. And logistics, too. Especially dropshipping. Sunbin specifically mentioned questions about linking up with Amazon.
Right. Reflects the online retail reality.
Totally. They want efficiency, solutions that fit their business model, being able to mix and match bases and fabrics easily. That seems like a major plus for buyers now.
And sounds like they're also trying to be smarter with inventory, looking for versatility.
Yes, definitely. There was strong interest in multi-use furniture. Think dining chairs that could easily work in a home office.
Or a cafe setting, maybe.
Exactly. Buyers want fewer SKUs that can do more, maximize their investment, appeal to more people. It's efficient.
Which means manufacturers need to be
flexible. That's the key word, especially on things like MOQs, minimum order quantities.
Right, smaller orders perhaps.
Or mixed orders. Sunbin mentioned partners from the Netherlands and Slovenia really pushing for mixed container options and flexibility on MOQs.
So adaptability is crucial for manufacturers now.
Absolutely essential. You have to be willing to work with different scales, different needs to stay competitive.
Okay, so let's crystallize this. If I'm listening, maybe I'm a buyer, maybe I'm in sourcing, what are the absolute key takeaways from Sunbin's Milan insights? What should be top of mind?
Okay, number one, that soft modern look is dominant. So think earthy colors, curved backs, tactile fabrics like boucle. That's the aesthetic hitting the mark right now.
Got it. Warm, inviting, but still modern. And number two,
sustainability is the baseline, not optional. You have to ask about materials, sourcing, packaging. Dig into it.
Right. Due diligence. What else?
Customization. The ability to offer mix and match options, especially fabrics and frames, is a huge competitive edge. Consumers want that personalization.
Makes sense. Give people choices.
Exactly. And then don't forget the fundamentals, durability and certifications.
Even if they didn't explicitly mention ISO 9001 or whatever.
Right. The emphasis on testing implies standards matter. Buyers are checking. They want proof the product is solid, built to last.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, communication and after-sales service. Seems obvious, but Sunbin stressed it. Clear comms, reliable support. It's paramount. No one wants radio silence or problems swept under the rug.
Good point. It's about the whole relationship, not just the sale.
Precisely.
So, moving just beyond the trends and the business stuff for a second, Sunbin ended their thoughts on a more human note, right, about what furniture really means.
Yeah, it was a lovely way to frame it, seeing Salone Automobile not just as an industry event, but as reflecting our basic human need to, gather, to connect.
And the dining chair's role in that.
Exactly. It's central to that act of coming together.
I love that phrase Sunbin used. Silent hosts to 1,000 conversations.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It really elevates the chair beyond just being an object.
Yeah, it becomes part of the fabric of our lives, the backdrop to those important moments.
It really does, and it's a good reminder, While design trends in business are vital, furniture ultimately serves this deeper human function, facilitating interaction, shaping our experiences.
Okay, so let's wrap up this deep dive into Milan 2025 through Sunbin Qi's eyes. We've seen this clear move towards comfort, sustainability, designs with soul.
Uh-huh. And buyers who are sharper, more practical, demanding durability, customization, efficiency.
And tying it all together is that human element.
Yeah.
How furniture helps us connect.
Right. Which leads to a question for everyone listening, really.
Go on.
Think about your own spaces, the places you spend time every day. How does just sitting, gathering, how does that actually shape your interactions, your experiences?
That's something to chew on.
And also, with sustainability now basically a standard, what's next? How else can furniture design weave in environmental thinking and longevity in, like, even more creative ways?
Interesting questions. Food for thought, for sure. And hey, if you do want to dive deeper into these specific trends or sourcing strategies, or
Sunbin Qi and ASKT actually put out an open invite, didn't they?
it did, and an invitation to connect directly with them, which is a great chance to explore these real-world implications further.